Good evening, everybody. Very warm welcome, and a massive warm welcome to Barry, our special guest, as I put in the thumbnail. Evening, Barry. Not that we haven't been talking for 10 minutes, but there you go.
Now nearly half an hour now, isn't it?
Nearly half. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it is. Right, we'll just say a quick good evening to one or two people in chat. We are on time, which is amazing for me. My watch is buzzing. Never mind. Right, Mick King, good evening. Evening, Mick King. Adrian Mason, evening to you. Jim Mills. Coyle, evening Coyle. Daniel, evening Daniel. Andy Carruthers, that's it. That's the only people in chat. There's only 5, Barry. We're all right. They're not used to being on time.
Is that it? Maybe they're not interested in me.
Look, Naturevape, bloody Nora on time. It was Barry's influence. So we'll give him a chance to get more in chat, I think. Then I'll say hello to a few. How many have we got in? Have we got many? 23. They're going up. YouTube has now said I'm live, so people wait for that. Or possibly they're all really into watching Nigel Farage on I'm a Celebrity. You never know, do you?
Yeah, is that on yet? Was it 8 tonight or 9?
It's been on for 2 nights, Barry.
No, I mean, what time does it start? 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
I don't know. I've no idea. I don't
It's not on yet. They can get on +1 after.
All right, I'm not overly bothered about watching it, to be fair.
No.
Right, have we got a few more in now? Yeah, 26, I think. So we'll say hello to a few more, and then we'll tell everyone what we're vaping on. I got as far as Andy, I think, didn't I? Andy Carruthers. Murray, Eden Murray. Jim Mills. Hertigan online. Good evening for a lovely dog. Look at that thumbnail. What sort of dog is that? Can't quite see. Nice looking dog though. John Vaping Joker. Adrian I've said. Adrian saying good evening to you, Barry.
Evening.
Put that in chat. Yes, it flicked up. There you go. They are working. I had to settle the screen up differently tonight because it's normally just me. So hoped that would fly across, and it did. As Daniel says, Naturevape, good evening. Mark and Barry, nice to put a face to the man behind my cupboard full of flavours. Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I know Daniel does buy from you. I know that.
Good man.
Graham, if I didn't say Graham, good evening, Graham. The Vaping Snowman. Gary, I think I said Lee. Evening, Lee. Murray, I've said. Jim Mills, I've said. Pulled and buy. Haven't said pulled and buy. And that's it. Right, we better tell them what we're vaping on. What are you vaping on, Barry? Let's let you go on with that.
I've got many things on the go at the minute. What we got? So we've got the Oxford Slim with the raspberry and plum. We've got, that was the SQ. We've got another Slim with.
Is that's the new Oxford one? Is it?
Yeah, that's
just hold that up in case people haven't seen that yet. It's the little square one. There you go.
Yeah, all compatible with the V2, the V3s, and some of the other cores I think that we don't stock. But yeah, nice little bit of kit. First impression. Yeah, flavour good, but that's what you get from them Oxford coils and the pods.
They do work well, don't they? The flavour that brings out the sweetness in the juice, and it's the only coil that I've tried that does that much. Weird on a pod type system.
With a good juice as well. They go for miles. You can go 6,000-7,000 puffs quite happily.
Do you know anywhere we can get that, Barry? That good juice you're talking about?
Funnily enough, yeah. Might be just and yeah, got Satsuma and pineapple in the other one. And yeah, I've got my sub home here as well. I haven't had a hit on it yet. And I've got the Biscuit Boss cinnamon apple in there. I like something a little bit warm sometimes, and while I love my fruits, and yeah, you can't beat something a little bit desserty, especially in Manila.
Perfect. Right, okay, let's see if we've just got any more. Just for fun has joined us. Rufus, evening Rufus. Mark Trigwell, evening to you. Kieran, another vape channel. Evening, Kieran. And I think that's it. The rest I've said hello to. Right, what am I vaping on? Well, I'm still on the Cthulhu all-in-one, the Delrin, and still using the CM bridge inside that as well, which I did a review on. One or two of you may have seen. Just the stock bridge that, of course, we're stocking as a separate part as well. So enjoying that. And inside here I've got my standard Virginia La Tabaccaria. I shouldn't call La Tabaccaria standard, should we?
It's exquisite.
So I got that in there, and Barry would be very pleased to hear that I'm vaping some of his raspberry plum pixie juice. Let's just put that up there so everyone can see it.
Quality stuff.
Quality stuff, and I've got that. That's like a... I tend to do that. That's my main vape. I go out, that's in my pocket, right? But if I walk the dog or something, I quite just like that. Or if I'm just nipping out in the car, I'll take this. I don't want anything too big or bulky with me.
Yeah,
so I've got the raspberry plum in there. It's actually really, really nice. What I like about this raspberry plum, I've tried a lot of the L-Flick type juices and salts and things like that, but this hasn't got the cool, has it? And that's one thing, that cool just gets too much. Everything's got cool, strawberry kiwi, all the flavours have got an adding of cool with them. None of yours have they?
No, not at this stage. That's
probably will have, I guess, but it's nice to see them without.
Yeah, well, that's what we wanted to do. The objective was to build something that was natural and relatable. So we wanted to strip it back, get just natural, relatable garden fruits that people are familiar with, and not overcomplicate them, but deliver good level of flavour like they're used to from disposables, but also that natural level of sweetness. So none of them are overly sweetened. It's just that natural element. Some come across a little bit sweeter, it's like the Satsuma does, but that's what Satsumas are, that they have that natural element of sweetness over an orange. But yeah, none of them at this point at this moment in time, have ice, but that will be something we'll look to do in the future.
Yeah, but for me personally, I think it's refreshing they aren't.
I think what makes them great,
Yeah.
It's being a little bit different. But ice can be really nice if it's done right. A lot of things are just like sweetener. It's overdone. You mask the flavour. You mask it the same with ice. You just get that ice and then a touch of flavour on the extra. It should be the other way around. You should have that abundance of flavour and then just a little bit of sweetness or a little bit of ice. It can enhance it. It really can.
Excellent stuff. And yeah, you've succeeded there, definitely. I see Craig has joined us in chat. He's done a fist pump. Did you go on Craig's show? I think you did.
I haven't been on there. I go in chat and I watch it quite a bit.
Right.
Good show.
Yep.
Yeah.
What else am I on? The Nevermore. I've got the Nevermore out of retirement. There's a method to my madness. I managed to get some at a decent price, and they're on the website reduced. The Nevermore. So it's popular RTA in its time. It's a little old now, but it's still quality. So they're on there. Funnily enough, Virginia in there as well. And lastly, another pod. It's bloody green screen. Hang on. It is green. That's why it comes to see through on the green screen. So, yeah, and I've got the Flapper mango juice in here. So, that's my 4 for the night. That's enough, isn't it? That's enough. Just for Fun has made a comment. I'm on some coconut, caramel, hazelnut, honey and some Cookie Monster tonight in honour of the Alchemist. There you go.
I feel honoured.
Anyone else say anything? I did ask in my little WhatsApp group, and it is only small and select, if obviously I made them aware Barry, that you're coming on. I made them aware that you're a wealth of information and knowledge. And if they had any questions, to pre-warn me so I could bring up that topic. And I think there was a couple, I think, but one, I don't want to bring my phone up just now. I don't want to bring up anything too bad in there. Vapor's Dozen has asked, shall I say his name? I think that'd be all right. Does Barry have any plans for more recipes? Loving the blueberry jam and cookie monster. So over to you, Barry.
It's something that we need to pay more attention to. We've been preoccupied quite a bit with Pixie lately, but we have got some big things coming with Flavora coming to the website, I believe at the start of next month. So we're taking their whole collection, and we're interested to work with them. The trouble with flavour and the way things work nowadays is like we wanted to get into the regulated side of the market, and working with these sort of flavour houses, Capella, and while they're good flavours and they will pass, and they're not full of nasties as such, getting them through regulations and working, they're very difficult. So we tend to build flavours a lot different and go to flavour houses now and try to get flavours built for us specifically, and we try to get them finished. So we haven't paid a lot of attention to going back old school and into the recipe side of things, but it's still a big passion of mine. And when we get some new flavours in, I can't wait to lay them down, get working with them. And yeah, hopefully starting next year, once we get more climatised with what we're doing with Pixie and we start managing it a little bit better and supply and demand, I think we'll knuckle down and get some more recipes out for sure. There is some good ones, and I've got them all sitting up here actually.
So just to explain, these are recipes on your website that people can produce themselves, and you've got all the ratios and what they need to put in, and obviously you then also sell the concentrates to make that recipe with. That's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, so everything that we suggest for these recipes is available within our cupboard. Basically what we then offer is a one pack solution where they get 10 mil of everything. That might make 150, 200 mil, but it'll give a guideline to make 100 mil to start with, but you'll probably have a lot of them left to go again and go again. You might just need to buy one or two or something. But yeah, so we just design it for you, tell the percentages, and then it's down to you to have a go.
Perfect. I'm just reading Daniel's comment here. I am in a position to show you somewhere, if I can do this, a picture of Winston chilling out. Look, come, there he is. The world's biggest dog. Look at that. With all these jewels on full view. Bless him. You gotta love him. He'll probably come to the door in a little while. He usually snorts through the door because I have it shut. Bless his little heart. Right, has anyone else put anything? Jim Mills, capacity of the Nevermore, please. Bloody good question, Jim. I got a feeling about 3.5 mil, but don't hold me to that. I got a feeling. Certainly more than 2. Perfect. What's that? Oh, right, that's Adrian. Mana Casper mod would be awesome if that green screen represented it. Representation. So go on. Adrian thinks that's 2 mil. I think that's more, Adrian. Let's say 2 mil. Then if it's more, you won't be disappointed. Daniel got his first Barry question. So my first Barry question is, most people say that steeping process starts when you add nicotine to the e-liquid. But I've always said surely it starts the moment the flavours are mixed.
Yeah, I'm much of the same opinion. I think once you start laying the flavours down together, I think they start bonding. But yeah, I don't necessarily think the nicotine. I think the whole mixing it up into scale. So adding it to the diluent and the PGVG and your nic. I think that's where where that's all comes into play. Especially with the VG heavy liquids, because you've got viscosity of the VG, and you need them particles to break down and like penetrate and all to become one. Like there might be scientific evidence out there that says otherwise, but like with 11 years of experience, yeah, I'm pretty sure once you lay it all together, that's when the goodness starts.
I was going to ask you when you started, because I I'll be 10. Naturevape will be 10 years next year. So we started in 2014. I'm sure it was.
Right.
So, and I was going to say to you, I'm sure you were going before me. So I was going to ask you how long you've been trading for. So it is 11 years, is it?
Yeah, just over. So we're approaching 11. What was it? September 2012. Um,
Crikey. Yeah.
that's when we first ventured into it. I think we got some liquids out to some online reviewers at the time. It was all pretty low key. Everything was 70 PG, 30 VG at that time. It was
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
people thought we were crazy when we brought out the first 50/50. But yeah,
Yeah.
it, it worked. And yeah, I think within 8, 9 months, we're then into the place we are still now today, where you come down. And yeah, just yeah, went massive. We
Yeah,
in a
for
considerably
those of you
time.
that don't know, Barry is very local to me. He's just on the outskirts of Norwich, a place called Bothorpe, in an industrial estate.
Yeah.
Proper premises. And you know, sometimes I'm sure people order online and think, I wonder if this bloke is just selling from a bedroom or whatever. But I can assure you, Barry's place is pucker.
Yeah, cool. So that's what done us well in the first stages. I got a friend who's it's like a cinematographer, so he films for nature programs and things like that.
Right.
He was back for a period of time from his job, and he said to me, he said, "We just had the lab built," and he said, "Let's if you've done a little short video and just showing how the process is done, where you're making it in the clean room and everything else." So we've done a little video. We give him a little bit of cash, and he'd done us one. And I remember the day we launched it, just like no one else was showing you where their e-liquid was made. It was like very much like a backroom venture back then. I
It
mean, for
was,
the
yeah.
first 8 months, we were at a conservatory until we had the security of we know what we're doing every month and we could afford to go into something like this. Because that's the thing, it's not cheap to do, have a warehouse and the lab and the staff and everything. But yeah, we've done very well over the years and we've got a good customer base. And last year on our 10th birthday, there's a lot of customers coming back and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Let's just hope these pesky disposals get the boot next month and then everyone can have the good times back.
I'll second that. I will second that. Evening, Albert. And evening, Tetley. If I didn't say hello to Tetley, I don't think I did. So, just actually, I think what I'll do is just while I've got you on here, see if I can put. Yes, I have. Right. So let's go on to home. See if I can now make this work. Bear with everyone. Technophobe, Naturevape, on the go. No, I'll put the wrong thing on. Go away, Albert. Put this one on. Not sure how this one works. Normally I do a screen share with the main desktop, but I'm on the mobile for this. So, Alchemist Cupboard, this is the website. So if you get to and see this, you know you're in the right place. Shop by category. And you've got everything on there that you could wish to see and want. The Nixolts, a pixie juice that Barry has been talking about and he's been focusing on so much recently, is here. Pixie Juice Volume 2. The flavour profile, there's only 5, isn't there, Barry, at the minute?
At the minute, yeah.
Yeah, blackcurrant and pear. Fuji apple strawberry, lemon and peach, raspberry plum, which is, whoops, the one that, oh, you can't see it. It's me picking it up and holding it up. Egypt. Raspberry and plum, the one that I'm vaping on, and the new one I haven't got yet, but we'll sort that out after the show, I guess, is the Satsuma and pineapple. That's your latest one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I see that you're out of stock.
No, that was a little bundle we done. When we done the expo, we had a little offer on at the expo, and I just felt it fair to give it to customers as well on store because a lot of our customers, it's not their It's like the type of thing that these vape shows. So yeah, just felt it fair, and it gets the brand out there as well.
One thing I haven't checked yet, I'm doing a search here. It is, look,
Yeah,
Flapper. Barry is also stocking the Flapper by La Tabaccaria.
yeah.
So sometimes people would rather that because they want to save some postage. They might want to get a concentrate or something off you and get Flapper as well. They can get it all off you rather than pay extra post and get it from me. So you're stocking all the Flapper range in the 20mm you had, didn't you, Barry?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And if they go well, we'll look to get some others in as well. Some I'm interested in more of the it's like just straight tobaccos.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so if they go well, we'll get some more in.
very good stuff. That is very good stuff, as we all know. Right, so I'll take that off there. Well, that worked, didn't it? Shared the phone and everything. Well done, me. Right, what's everyone been saying? Not a lot. Anyone else got a question for Barry? Go ahead. Even if you think it's a silly question, there isn't such thing as a silly question. Just
No.
fire away. Barry, like I say, is a wealth of knowledge. He will answer you.
Not to everyone. There's always someone more experienced and so like knows more than you, isn't there?
Well, of course there is. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I've had it loads of times. People have talked about. I'd like to think my knowledge is quite vast on RTAs, but someone will go on about one. I think, what's he going on about? Never heard of it.
To be honest, watching some of your videos and some of the hardware shows, it blows my mind because I don't put, for me, you've had to put a build in for me when you've been down here before collecting something else. Things like that. It's just like I can do it. I'm just like us juice guys. We concentrate on making juice, and the one thing with us is like I find with a good juice company and how you get the best from your liquids is if it runs through a stock pool and it runs through various stock pools, it does the job. Do you know what I mean? And for you guys, when you get onto the rebuildables and the rewickables, it's going to be even better. So.
I guess there's a certain argument for that. No, if it works on a stock car, it'll definitely work on your RTA. So
I mean, we still test things on a POCX just to make sure, because there's still an element of people that want that simplicity of the vape, and so there's probably 60, 70, if not more, percent of the market out there.
Daniel, come on, guys and girls, you must have some questions. Daniel, I thought you had another question. I was sure you had another question. I'm sure you know the question I'm thinking that you had as well. Mark Trigwell, Barry, what's your opinion of the Flapper range?
I really like them. The coffee one for me. That's
you
the
like
one.
The coffee one best, do you?
Yeah. I'm a sucker for a good coffee flavour. I think if they're done right, they can be. If you get the beans element of the coffee rather than the creamy cappuccino side of it, yeah, that's something for me. I like that hard-edged element to a liquid, and especially for us, that's what coconut caramel hazelnut honey offered, and that's why we grew a good rate with that liquid. A lot of our business was paid for just on the success of that liquid, but it's a hard-edged flavours. I think once you start accompanying hard-edged flavours, you can really achieve some like unique, different tastes. Yeah, I like the coffee with the tobacco. Yeah.
You tried the mango, I think, as well. I think you tried mine, didn't you? The mango, yeah.
I'm not a big mango lover on the whole.
Yeah.
Certain flavours, especially for us, like it's hard to work with certain flavours when you don't like them. And I'm not just one of these companies that will knock something up and then 2 to 3 days later or a week later it's on sale for commercial use. That's what the recipes are for more so. Like I want to know that liquid, one, develops well over time, two, runs through stock coils and multiple coils, and like we'll just not trash it as such because there's a lot of flavouring elements out there that will, so like citrus flavours you have to be very careful with, lemonades, oranges, lemons.
Oranges can be a real problem. I said this story before, but I went to Cyprus one year and I mixed my own DIY orange and something it was, and in Cyprus it tasted gorgeous. And I got home and it tasted rank. No, why would that be? Why would that be? Whether it just because some juices after they've steeped a longer period of time, they can actually go downhill, can't they?
Yeah, they can fall off, can't they?
And I was wondering if it was one like that, but you know, I remember I brought it home and thought I'm going to vape this for ages. Really nice, and I was really proud of myself because it was my own concoction, you know.
Yeah.
But it tasted rank when I got home, so I'm glad I didn't take that any further.
No, there is. When you do achieve a good mix, like, especially nowadays, like I've been doing it for long enough, and like I can probably tell off the finger if it's going to work, what I need to do more. And there's some that come out of the lab, we mix 100 mil and like it's straight in the bin. No, that's not going to work, and off you go again and work something else.
Yeah.
And you can sometimes do 3 or 4 before you even get it to the vape stage. It's just understanding the flavours, a lot of trial and error, but a lot of fun as well.
Jim Mills has got a question. Any flavour houses you wouldn't touch with a barge pole? That's a hard one to answer, because how do you say that in public view?
Yeah, that's it. Without it going against you for future.
Without upsetting them.
No, we use a broad range of flavour houses, like particularly the sweets and confectionery range. That's UK made, and we go to 2 or 3, no, 4 or 5, in fact, flavour houses. And for example, if we want a blackjack, yeah, we do look at price point across the board, but we generally go for the best representation of that flavour and then release it into the sweets and confectionery range. But no, I wouldn't say there's any I wouldn't work with. There's ones that I don't choose. There's ones I sell that I don't choose to use within any mixes of my own. But yeah, everyone's got their good flavours. Everyone's got their bad flavours. Like even with Capella, TFA, Innova, you can get real standout ones, but then you can also get ones that you just don't work.
Albert has a question. I haven't read it myself yet. Barry, is there cooling in the Satsuma and pineapple? Got a 250 ml to mix up, and I like a bit of cooling in that type of liquid.
No, that's fair, dude. You can add some, and coolant is very much your taste. I think sweetener is as well. I've got a general basis that I do use with the Alchemist stuff, but it's like I was explaining before. I like it to be an enhancement of the flavour and not overpower the flavour. So it's discretionary quite often, it's like ice. So try it without though first, because that is the peak flavour. It's absolutely incredible flavour.
I've tried it. It wasn't ready when I came to see you, was it? You gave me a sample bottle, but it wasn't ready to buy. So yeah, it is. It's nice. It's very nice, in fact. Kenny, what's your favourite RTA, Barry? Well, it's got to be the True Tank, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Like I say, I don't get into the rebuildable side of things very often. So yeah, but I did have a True Tank and I did get on very well with it. So let's go for it.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Because Barry, also used to have a stall on the market, Norwich Market. What's her name? Charity, wasn't it? Who you had running that, and I popped on the stall one day to pop in and say hello, and you know, it's lovely atmosphere. I think it's one Christmas actually, which probably made it even nicer. And she loved the True Tank, didn't she? She was like a real, you know, shouting about it to everyone she could speak to. I think it was buy the True Tank, buy the True Tank.
Yeah, we sold a lot, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
It's good something on, especially online. Like we've started adding Oxfords and bits and pieces, just because we're selling so many like over the counter in store. Like the warehouse, we've got a little counter at the front here, just to my right, and like with people all day. Where generally when we started out, it was like the online side of things. So we do sell bits and pieces that we find we're using and people are asking for. But online, it's just a minefield, and so, like you can't compete necessarily all the time online. So we just don't get involved in it, and it's ever changing, isn't it?
It is. It is.
You have to really understand what's going on to make it work, and we're better at juice. So
Smock were the worst. They'd bring something out and you think, cool, that's good. You buy a load and it was obsolete in a couple of weeks. There was a version 2. Who was that other company? OBS. They'd release what's the one they had? The Creus? RTA, I think it was the Creus. And there was like version 1. They changed it immediately, like after a week. So there's version 2. Then they found another tweak that they made. So they made a version 3. That's something to do with the screws that were faulty or something on version 2. And all I got was people saying, "What about Chris? What version is it?" And they're like, "Well, I've got all 3 because I've, the first 2 wedged up me bum sideways." Because no one wanted them.
These guys will be making sure. It's the same with. I wouldn't do that with liquid. I
No.
wouldn't put a version just to try and get something out, get a version 1 out, then keep working. It has to be right before it goes to sale, and that should be the same with any.
It should
any
be, but unfortunately, a lot of these Ambition mods did it as well with the Easy mod. They sent me the prototype, which was amazing, superb. The batch 1 of the Easy mod, which is there one here somewhere? Usually got one floating around. No, it must be beside my chair downstairs. But everyone knows what I mean about the Easy mod anyway. Most people do. So the batch 1 was okay. Then they decided they'd save a little bit of money on the 510 inside here, and instead of screwing, what did they do? They did it one way or the other. I think that was soldered the first time, but to make it easier, they screwed it, and that screw just came loose every time, and so you got a bad connection on the earth, and it drove me mad. And why change it? It worked flawlessly, so why change it?
It's remember when a lot of things used to have the magnetic doors on them. So it used to have it 2 weeks, and you'd be gluing the magnets back in all the time.
Yeah,
Just put a bit of glue in there to improve your quality, just to make sure that people aren't doing that sort of
exactly
stuff.
right. I have to say, I'm impressed with Cthulhu's magnets. I've had none drop out or even attempt to drop out. They seem to be right on top of the game with the quality of them, so that's good.
Good. About time though, where it's like the industry's getting old. These are the advancements and the developments that we need to see, and it's like better all round. And I think we are getting there,
Yeah, I think so. In general, I think we are. In case you didn't say it, Mark Trigwell, the coffee's the one that entices him. John Vaping Joker. Barry, why did you start mixing, and why? Also, what made you stop smoking and start vaping?
So the first things we were using were cigarettes. So before I started the business, or me and my dad started the business, we were using the little glurp ones that look like cigarettes, and I was working as an industrial shop blaster, and I was in confined spaces and things, and they just worked for me. But it wasn't long before there was no flavour there. I used to buy the menthol ones just for something a bit different. And like my dad was using them, and he just said it's food flavouring. We can lay that down. So he started playing around. I started playing around, and then before long, we found out you could get the refillable systems and things. The more we looked into it, and for a while, I was still probably like the first year and a half, 2 years, I should imagine. I was still a cigarette in the morning, a cigarette after my tea, but I'd cut down massively with the use of this. And then I think it was when the advancements come with the CE4s and things like that, where you could really get a little bit more flavour, and things went 50-50, and
Vivi Novas.
And the eye leaves and things like that. It was just more flavour, more flavour. Once we got to that level and the introduction of sub ohm, and that's there was never even it just came to me, right, I'm going to knock that on the head, I'm going to knock that one on the head, and never look back. But I've gone through all sorts of. I'm not one to stick on a flavour for too long. There's always something new, like this Satsuma one. I'm still on it now quite a bit, but we're already working on the next ones for Pixie in the new year. So it's I am heavily on them, trying to get them the best they can before the new year, really.
So I remember when my sort of first memories of you as a company and buying. You probably didn't even know it as well. I just ordered it under my name when I first bought something from you. Was Grant's vanilla custard. I remember I've got him in my head at the same sort of time.
Yeah, he was around. So there was all the recipes, weren't there? So
yeah,
rumor mill. I don't think anyone ever got it right. There's always something in it. But the rumor was, I think it was New York cheesecake, French vanilla, and vanilla custard, or Capella with some ethyl malt all over the top. So a lot of people used to buy that and try and make it. But I think it's still available. I heard it's quite expensive though.
Is it always was
Yeah.
expensive, and I thought, I think it was Todd I used to listen to at the time as well, and I thought, I've got to try a bottle of that. So I ordered, but I didn't actually like it. So
No?
no,
I love a good custard you can't beat. And back then, when you're using V1 and that, it's like all the claims, it's got diacetyl. I don't think it has its source. I think is when you start mixing it, it can create something that can
yeah,
cause a reaction within it that traces like diacetyl. But I think it's more the APs that are generally not perceived good for e-liquid no more. But a lot of people like the only thing we sell in our cupboard with diacetyl is the FA premium, and people buy it by the bucket load. They want it, like they know there's no harm in it. And yeah, while we wouldn't put it out into any commercial liquid, you can't.
yeah.
It's like,
No
well, we
need to
don't
call
use
me that,
it in
Barry.
any of our products, but like people buy it. People want that flavour from it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think how we got big was again Todd. I think he reviewed coconut caramel hazelnut honey
right.
and fell over himself with it, and yeah, it just went.
Yeah. So I mean, you were just talking there for people that I'm sure most people in chat know. These lot are probably not more knowledgeable than us. There was some of these in here, but when you talk about V1, you're obviously referring to Capella custard V1 and V2, aren't you? The
Yeah,
V1 was. Is it still available? The V1.
yeah. You see, we still sell it.
You do.
Yeah, and then the V2 is the rework.
Yeah.
Quite often, the same with the sweet strawberry. There's an RF reduced flashpoint or reformulated, but they never have the same taste. And once you get acquired to that taste, it's
Mm,
hard to supplement something that is lacking.
yeah.
The only one I've found is TFA Vanilla Custard 2. That's clean as a whistle, and it probably, I think, in my opinion, is better than their original one. So, yeah.
Right. Sorry, my phone was buzzing on my wrist. I didn't want to say what I
But
was
all of
reading.
them old school guys like Miss Lords, Digby's are still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what the industry used to be, didn't
We used
it?
to have a Digby's juice. He made up a flavour for us. Nature's Twist, I think it was called. That was nice, good.
Yeah, good quality
Um,
flavor.
Daniel, what's he put here? Naturevape, yes. Given that companies only have to have an e-liquid tested once, in your experience, do they rehash flavours under new names? And is there a way for consumers to find out, i.e., ECID? Over to you
Yeah.
on this one, Barry. No
Well,
expert.
no, not an expert by any means, but like that's the thing with it. I mean, there is ways around it, but a lot of flavors are manufactured. Basically, there's companies you can go to nowadays. They've already passed their liquid through TPD, registered it on the portal, and you just buy a tag on. So pretty much 150 quid. Some companies will charge more, and you get your liquid and your brand tagged onto that flavor. You look at some of these, and there's 80, 90 brands that are all made at the same place. Just
80? 80?
yeah, I can give you ECIDs. Well, there's, I think the record I've seen is 86 or 87. There's 87 brands that are all the same flavour at source, all made at the same percentage. They've just got a different label on it. They're being bottled at the same place. They're just literally having a different label on it. And you can walk into most vape shops now and see 7 or 8 of them brands. And if you know your stuff and you check in like the portal and things like that, you can just type in the ECD. People can also buy the flavour and submit it themselves to get over that. But the best way to do it is like the same with our flavours is just have a bit of uniqueness. Like going back 10 years, it was all about ingenuity. We didn't bring a flavour out that a rival company did. It seems at the minute, how many kiwi passion fruit guavas do you need? How many blue raz lemonades? You walk into a vape shop and that is all it is. So what we've tried to do is just offer something different, get back to basics, and offer a good, honest product that no one else is doing. Like when have you ever seen a Satsuma e-liquid? It was just something a bit different,
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
wanted
it is.
to get noticed. And that's done it for us. It really has.
I think that's pretty shocking, to be fair. Thinking on the customer's side, you know, but this industry's bad enough talking about clones, isn't it? And oh, it's a clone. The e-liquid you've just highlighted there. So if you go in a vape shop, okay, and on the shelf and you think, right, I want strawberry custard, I'll have that one, that make there, that looks nice jazzy label, whatever, I'll have that one. I'll try that one as well, see which one I like best. And what you're saying is, chances are they could be the exact same juice made in the exact same place. One's got Arthur's e-liquids label and the other one's got George's Delights or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
In some instances, there's a lot of the bigger companies are not doing that. It tends to be more the shops. So if the shops want their own range, they'll go
own
to
brand. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but there is also some big names doing it. So, like some people who get big, they might then change as they develop. But what we wanted to do from the start is just set ourselves from apart from that. So we've worked with the big flavour house on these that develop liquids for sort of the big companies. We wanted the flavours to be on par with that. But yeah, they're all unique ECIDs. They've gone through our the people we've chosen to submit through. So they've done that on behalf of me because it's above me. It's like we just conform to what we need to. They tell us what to do. Fill in all the paperwork and all the small detail out is you need a degree. It's not for people like me. So yeah, but it is what it is. People know the industry can be quite profitable. A lot of people want to get into it, and it's a good fit in. But yeah, some of
Pretty
them,
hard to. I mean, the other thing you say is, you know, people if they're tuned in, they can check the ECID numbers, right? So they can say, "Oh, can you pass me that bottle?" But these labels are so small, you can't read them.
that's what we're working with. They laid down the regulations in the first instance. Everyone was saying 10 mil was too small,
Right.
and you can make it clear that sort of stuff. You have to have it's like proper legible. It's then when you get down to the detail of the ingredients, flavourings, and that it has to be readable. But what's readable to me might not be readable to you. It's one of them. It's a catch-22, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but all ECID should be on anything that's 10 mil nicotine containing. Whatever you're vaping, I'd encourage you to check the ECIDs.
So it's just 10 mils. So they don't have to have them on a lot of short fill, do they?
Not at the minute, but that's what the consultation is proposing, isn't it? Have you
Right.
been through the consultation?
No.
Mark.
Sorry. I'm a busy man.
And that would be your next 20 minutes. Basically, there's government consultation out at the minute. I can send you a link and you can put it in the description afterwards if you like. But yeah, I'd encourage everyone to go and fill that out. It takes about 15, 20 minutes, but they're trying to gauge your opinion on
I know what you
disposal.
mean now. Yeah, sorry, I know what you mean now. Yep. Yep.
Suggesting a flavour ban,
Yeah.
plain packaging, changing the names, and yeah, just go along, give your opinion. My opinion is that we need the same method applied for vaping, not necessarily as tobacco, but for more along the lines of alcohol. It's an over 18 product. We're working with the same sort of flavours, the same appeal. So to have it categorised, I know it's a smoking sensation. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know, but there's a lot in there that could. They're asking what you think would be a fair time period for the banning of disposables. I personally think immediately. I know people are sitting on a lot of stock and they've got to shift it. So yeah, there's a lot in that consultation that I think people should go along, fill out.
Do you sell them, Barry?
Pardon?
Do you sell them, disposables?
We do, but we've made right. So there's a point a year ago, mate, where you couldn't afford not to. So for SEO purposes, like our guy said to us, like you've got to get them on store because it's the secondary sale and then leading them off that. So once we've got their data and we can hit them with a refillable system and try to lead them off that.
Kind of a bit different for you because you've got your shop counter as well, haven't you? So and I haven't. So I made the decision not to sell disposables. So, but yeah, would I have made that same decision with customers coming through the front door asking me for them? Probably not. to be
And they
fair.
are very popular in store. We get through quite a lot in here. But what we're now doing is so the same as when we first bought the nicotine salts out. We're not known for nicotine salts, and still to this day, I don't sell that many on our store because our market's DIY. It goes completely against the grain. 10 mil for £3 or £4, when you can mix 250 mil for like 20 quid. So that's not our market. What these were designed for, more sort of the commercial appeal. But we've made a decision that we're not going to sell anything that's manufactured in China no more, so like in a liquid form. So we've got some Sky Crystal salts. They're getting banged out and down to a stupid price to get rid of for Black Friday. All disposables that we've got in stock this weekend are going down to stupid price, part of the Black Friday, and we're going to get rid, and we're not going to restock. So we're going to get some more English salt brands on board and try and offer a best of British and try and promote what it used to be. Do you know what I mean? So
Brilliant.
good on English
Good.
flavours that are a little bit different, and not just your run-of-the-mill Chinese, Malayan crap.
Excellent. Eden Paul, Hinchcliffe, good evening to you. Kevin Smith as well. Eden Kevin, put you up there as well, otherwise I'll treat you all the same. What about that? Yeah, thank you, Kieran. I was talking about it a little while. It was the OBS Chris. Yeah, I was right, it was. Craig says Russian manufacturing to make a quick buck.
I remember back in the day, especially a rival DIY company, I'm not going to name them, but I don't rate them. Someone brought out, another rival company brought out this, I think it was a Twister. Do you remember when Twister flavour was really popular?
Yeah.
Probably talking 2015, 2016. And they put it on their, publicly stated it on the social media. They went, had a quick knock up in the lab last night. This will be released tomorrow. How the hell can you tell after 24 hours, 12 hours, that that's good enough for a commercial sale? You can't. So that's why these companies, it's like a lot of our rivals and some of the bigger companies, don't get me wrong, they got appeal. They're always doing new formulations of their flavours. In my eyes, you didn't do it right first time.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
like all of our flavours, we haven't got coconut caramel, hazelnut honey, it's like 11 years old. We've never done a second version. We are looking at it now, but it's just because there's so many different flavours around now that we think we could make it like possibly nicer or different. But we'd never drop the original.
Yeah. Did you read that I just put on?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
I'll put it on again.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I've got big hands. Very small as well.
It's the way you're holding it.
Yeah, I ain't got to grips with this one yet. I've only had it a day or so, and because it's square, it's a little bit different.
Alan, evening to you. Steve, what's Steve put? Do you think this government could introduce a flavour ban? Bad news for Australia today. Vaping Bogan has said a complete vape ban looks dead cert.
Well, personally, I don't think we can get to that stage over here. The benefit I feel is they've already implemented the first stage of the TPD in 2016, 17, whenever we got it through. How can they go back on that? So a lot of these countries, especially like Belgium, Holland, they didn't have that first implementation, so they've come down like a ton of bricks when they're going first time round.
Yeah.
So how can the government to us go and say, right, everything that you've paid, like these 5 flavours cost us silly money to get through regs. How we've done it properly, don't get me wrong. So in January, there's available to go into the European market. There's a 6-month delay to the European market over the UK. But like, it's just, you need to do it right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Is it Germany that was going to ban flow, just have tobacco flavour? That's it. Was it Germany?
There's limitations in Germany. I think it's quite, I'm not sure exactly. It's one of them markets I don't worry myself with because it's very costly. Apparently the paperwork, and the same with Scandinavia.
Do you have to send a vet?
What?
Do you have to send a vet to sign it off?
It's ridiculous. Like, there's a lot more accessible countries out there at the minute, and that's where we're now looking for like the first quarter for next year is to broaden out into the European market and further afield. It's not just all about the UK no more.
No. Daniel, Naturevape, I thought it might be one or two, but that's outrageous. 80 plus e-liquids, exactly the same inside, but different labels. Where can I find this portal?
So it's on the government. It's the is it the MRHA?
MRHA, I would have thought, innit?
I've got it. It's something to do. I've got there's a tab upstairs. We keep an eye on it because we're waiting for publication of the Satsuma and pineapple. Although it's gone through, everything's been submitted, and like it's one of them. It's like a catch-22. Do you start selling it until it appears on the portal? And it's a lot of people will. We've passed everything that you've asked for. We've submitted it. It's like a paper process of you
Yeah.
documenting it, but that can take months and months and months for an admin thing.
Mark Trigwell is going to test my teeth. I find most of the vape industry I knew I was going to struggle with these. Innovative, banal, and customers driven rubbish in the main. I prefer to stick to my regular, tried and trusted. Thank you, Mark, for that. If you could, put a few more tongue twisters in, that'd be great. I think Daniel's put a link in consultations, dhsc.gov.gov. I don't know if that's the right one or not, but thank you, Daniel. Scott Wood, evening to you. Yeah, Daniel has put that one on chat. I must admit I haven't done it as yet. Did see it came on the group actually as well. I highly recommend you fill out the online forms. We've seen what's happened in the US and is happening in Australia.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't get to that stage. if it's in this proposal, this consultation, whatever, there is suggestion towards a tobacco and a mint. I think you'd have to have an unflavoured one in there as well. So if there was an unflavoured one, you just essentially remarket the food flavourings as ice cream flavourings, get the word out there that they can be used for vaping. Anything in monopropylene glycol at the end of the day, if it's flavouring based, we'll be able to use in a vape.
Yeah.
So you just leave that room. I think they might address the size issue because a lot of people it was the one element they got wrong, but they got a lot of elements wrong. But it was the
I think it was massively wrong. All that wasted plastic to add like 4 nick shots to a bottle. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
you could have them 10 times the size and to reduce 10 times the waste. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if they change that element, I think it. If you've got that room to play in, you can just add a flavour shot. You're away with the mixer, aren't you?
Yeah.
So to speak.
Nicky Maynard, good evening to you. Late on parade. Graham, what's Graham put? TPD was a lifesaver for us back in the day. We were mocked for having regs, laughed at, felt sorry for us. We were clever with short fills.
They'll attack that though. That's another thing in the consultation that you can get from it. I think short fills are going to come under that classification. So I think anything that's like targeted towards vaping. But we said this in the start. We told them just because it hasn't got nicotine in it doesn't mean it can't be vaped. No, they knew best. The same with the 10 mils, things like that, and it bit them on the arse. But I think they will insist on anything that's designed to be vaped will have to go through regs and have to pass TPD and have to be on the portal, which isn't a bad thing. But for a lot of the old school liquids, it's gonna, not be good.
Daniel thinks he's found it this time. Check your own e-liquids, ECID number. There you go. Thank you, Daniel.
And you haven't got to go back. And as soon as you go through the pages, some of the pages you'll see, and all of a sudden you'll get to one, and it will just have like lists upon lists upon lists.
Really?
Yeah, we've actually got we've got the trademark and everything going through on the Pixie at the minute, and I've noticed that someone has got a shop brand. So I've contacted the company. They're manufacturing this juice. It's one that has 70, 80 different sub brands on a flavour, and someone has tried to put Pixie juice through. We're now trying to sort out who that is, find out who it is. I've been told it's only a local brand. It's nothing that's on the mainstream. So we've now got to deal with that, unfortunately, and get his name changed to Pixie Juice. So if you see anything on the portal, this pixie juice like tobacco, if it's not these 5 flavors, it's not us.
It's not you.
No, and we aren't taking flavors off the shelf to put through.
No, I
No.
wouldn't think you would, Barry. Yeah, Steve Barron, if Labour get in, vaping is knackered. They hate vaping. I heard something on it's one of these Peston or something show, and a Labour guy, and he said outright, if you get in, are you going to ban vaping? He went, yes, we are. I thought, really?
Maybe. Could you imagine the uproar?
Yeah. But, well, you could have said that was smoking in pubs at the time, didn't you? I remember that like it was yesterday. That was Blair, wasn't it? And the proposal was smoking in restaurants. That was the proposal, to ban it in restaurants. And I thought, well, that's fair enough. Only inconsiderate smokers smoke next to someone having a meal anyway. So I actually agree with that. And I think most of us did. We thought, yeah, that's fair. But what actually got passed was smoking in public places and pubs. And I thought, what? No. Crazy.
Yeah. Let's hope that doesn't happen then. Right.
Yeah. This is one of those occasions now, you see. This is coming up. Ian Morgan, Mark, thanks for the info on the MV bridge this week. MV bridge? What's the MV bridge?
Don't ask me.
He's thanking me for the info. What have I done? What bridge? Sorry, Ian, I might have a brain fart or something. I'm not with you. Heat not burn now. Yeah, heat not burn. Smoking in prisons. Yeah, isn't that where you're supposed to have your liberties taken away? But you can smoke in prison. Bizarre.
I think disposable. We've got a prison officer come down here. He mixes his own. He was in yesterday actually,
Right.
and he said they're all on disposables. They can't have refillable systems because I don't know. Obviously, some complication in what they can extract from it or use it for things like that. So yeah.
Bloody hell. I can hear Winston at the door. Shall I get Winston? He does like to say hello. He does. Shall I go and get him? Smile nicely at the camera, Barry. I'll be 2 seconds.
Don't know about that.
Come on in. Come and say hello. Come on in. I don't like being on my own. Come on in. Come up. 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 Come on in. Up. Come and say hello. Knocking everything flying. Up here, look, Winston. No, up here. Wait, up here, look. Never work with animals or children, innit?
No, my sister adores him. Every time Mark comes down to pick up some stock or whatever, my sister's straight out to the van, giving him a treat, giving him a fuss.
Good boy, Danny, get them. You didn't knock over anything important.
That was funny the other week when that bulldog from across the way came out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh, God. Winston with a bulldog. He met an Alsatian the other week.
Yeah.
And the woman said, yours friendly? I said, yeah, because he's... And she said, mine is. Can we let him off? I said, yeah, let him off. He was so much fun with this Alsatian. And the Alsatian, like, nipped at him. You know, they go nip, 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 like that. He was so quick, his head just went back like this. And Alsatian never got anywhere near him. Nowhere near him. He just jumped straight over the top of the Alsatian. He's got springs for legs.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Ian. Sorry, I'm with you now. The monarchy. Yeah, V-Bridge, yeah. Sorry, with you now. Gotcha. Sorry, mate. I've had this week a week of, just digressing now, of my... People who watch regularly know my mother's got dementia and I didn't have power of attorney, so I had to apply for a deputyship, which has taken about a year. I've now got to get in touch with her bank and so I can pay any bills with her bank account properly rather than go on her iPad and do it as I have been doing for many years for her. Oh, nightmare. You need to come in and see us. So I went and saw him. Yeah, you need to book an appointment to come and see us. I think 7th of December is our first appointment. but you need to download our app and verify yourself to us first. And I'm like, okay. Just blew my head. So I tried all that, and of course, verifying failed. Phone the branch. So I phoned the branch, another 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back, and still didn't get resolved. So it just goes on, doesn't it? And you're on about the form. I just, things like that, they just frustrate me so much. They are the things that will make my gasket blow. They really are. I just can't tolerate them.
Yeah, but it needs to be done. It's one of them things that we need to have our say, don't we? So.
Oh yeah, I know. No. I'm just talking about things like that in general. No one seems to want to own a problem these days. You can't phone someone and say, "Can you just help me with this?" Do it on the phone while I'm here. I'll do it online, but can you just help me? No.
Everything's complicated, isn't it? It's nothing straightforward.
Yeah, it is. And I feel sorry for the elderly, which I'm rapidly approaching that myself. But I do feel sorry for the elderly. Like Tina's mum, she hadn't even got a computer. She wouldn't know what to do with one.
No, apps and things like that. Yeah,
she has to phone and physically go into these places to get anything done. Incredible. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to rant any more about that. Scott Wood, evening to you. Hi, Steam Pugs. Hope you're well.
Pugs.
Daniel's put his diverse message on. Let's put that on there. How diverse is that, Barry, eh?
Look at that.
Diverse and inclusive. That's us.
I can't see a blue one. I think Smurfs might be offended.
Smurf. Daniel, you've upset the Smurfs. Yeah, that's right, Graham. Pass the buck, they call that. It really has been. And, anyone think, of course, I haven't got other work to be getting on with. But anyway, I said I'd stop, so I'll stop. Right, what time are we at now? 9:30. So we've done the hour. I normally say we'll do an hour. Just before we wrap up, if anyone's got anything else, I thought, actually, Daniel, you had a question about your Arise e-liquid, which is made by Mother's Milk. Apparently, it's still being produced, Barry, this Arise. Made by Mother's Milk, but of course Mother's Milk is like the one that everyone's or most people stock, not the Arise part of that business. And I think Daniel's basically want to know, why is it so hard to get? Why don't people stock it? You ever dealt with them, Mother's Milk? You ever bought from them or anything? No.
No, I wouldn't know. It's just like market, isn't it? Different. Even people like our competitors, you sell different things. You're popular for more things, and you're better for some things than other people. And everything comes down to cool. If there isn't a market for it, you're not going to find it on sale very many places.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I knew there was another question. That was actually the one I thought he had. Incidentally, I did mean to mention this. Flapper e-liquid. Steve, SR Vapes, is also stocking it now. He's physically got it in stock. So they are the only three places you can get La Tabaccaria. Either Alchemist Cupboard, SR Vapes, or of course me, Naturevape. There you go. Plug over. Well, it's a plug for someone else, really, isn't it? Two other people as well as me.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think we've covered quite a bit, Barry. I can't think of a lot else that I had in my head that I wanted to discuss with you. I thought there may have been a few more varied questions that we got off quite light, didn't we?
Yeah, it hasn't been bad at all. I've enjoyed it. Well, I wasn't informed, like as I said before. So like we've had a rough couple of days at home. The house is like a crime scene at the minute. The little one's got, we think, hand, foot, and mouth. I've been on the sofa for 2 nights because she's been in the bed with the missus. My voice is absolutely. I feel like I'm now coming down with it. So yeah, sorry if I've been monotone tonight, and maybe not as perky as normal, but yeah, just sometimes you have to deal with it.
Well, I did. A lot of people wouldn't have known that, but I did You know, I gave you the option to bow out tonight, didn't I? And you know,
Yeah, no, I
it's
wouldn't
not
have
nice when you're not feeling well. So, but we really appreciate you even
it.
leaving your house as well and going to your place of work to do this. You know,
You
to
wouldn't have
do.
been able to go there. Would have had a screaming 4-year-old coming through, like, "Daddy, I can't eat." But yeah, she has been a poorly little soul. But hopefully, fingers crossed, my missus has got her in her own bed tonight, and when I get back, I can get into my own bed for the first time in 3 nights and
Oh,
have a
that'll
good
be all right. You get a
time.
decent night's kip.
Yeah, you can't be. Especially, it's like we're just so busy down here at the minute as well. We can't keep up with the amount of pixies we're pumping out. And it's like I've been down here some nights quite late, just getting extra bottles done, and it's like boxes, taking boxes home just to make up the empty boxes that when they come to it, it's done for them. It's one process or one stage out of the process that I can just help with. So yeah, it's just. I think I had my first day off Saturday and Sunday for 4 weeks, and but I think that's what's allowed something to come in, and why I'm now
Yeah,
starting
it
to feel.
could be. You run yourself down a bit, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes you better just keep going on.
You are.
So,
Yeah. If you
so
want them
yeah,
done, ask a busy man.
nice, mate. It's like I say, this last year, the reason we've gone back into this side of the industry is because, like everyone knows, no one's going through 250 ml of liquid a week like they used to.
No.
With
Yeah.
home, and things are a lot different. And hopefully, if disposables get the boot, which I'm pretty confident it's a matter of time as opposed to like if. I think a lot of these shops are going to have a lot of spaces to fill, and Pixie offers something different. You can either put, like we've just talked about the ECIDs, 7 or 8 flavors that are exactly the same with different brand on it, or you can go with something like Pixie and it's like have something different for your customers, something unique, relatable. And yeah, like we're adding new wholesales on a day-to-day basis at the minute, and we're having good reorders, and yeah, long may it continue. It's
Well,
nice, nice
really
to see.
pleased for you, Barry. You deserve it. You work hard.
No,
So,
yeah, it's
good
one of them.
English, non-Chinese flavours. Lovely.
Yeah, boy. What it could be.
Thank you, Hurtigan online. Superb show, Mark and Barry. Thank you very much indeed for that. Yeah, Daniel's put his comment on there. Yeah, Suicide Bunny were one of, if not the first, to coin the name Mother's Milk for strawberry custard. Their heavy VG line is the Cloud Company, and Arise is the heavy VG version of it. There you go.
Yeah, this is the trouble when you're into making your own so much, you don't go out and buy e-liquids. It's something I've never really been into, trying other flavours.
Yeah, I think Daniel. I know Daniel quite well, obviously. I think he would actually, if he could, like work out the recipe or close enough to it, I think he'd love to make his own
Yeah,
Arise. Do you know what I mean?
and it's just about compromise, and it's the same with like what we say to people coming off the disposables. It's you like that flavour for a reason in the first instance. If you can get anything around it and you might actually improve it. You might find that you like a little bit more custard or another layer of cream or
Yeah.
just a little something different. It's about tailoring it and customising it for you and what works best for you. It's not about
Yeah.
anyone else. It's what's best for you. You're the one vaping it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've all got different tastes.
Yeah, and everything can always be done better.
Daniel says he'll definitely be checking his e-liquid numbers from now on.
Yeah, important thing.
I guarantee you that, I mean, I wasn't aware, for one, that it was as like 80 odd flavours. I wasn't aware it was that much. I had a bit of a feeling that, you know, some of these, they're like fashions, these labels, aren't they? I'm not going to name names, but it's like they've got the name of a juice, then they release a fresh new range with new labels and a bit of glitter around the outside and whatever. And it's
Yeah.
just a rehash of those same flavours with a different label on by that same company. And
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
think that's wrong, really. I don't like that side of it.
I mean, it's not like there's a lot of good companies out there that are doing it the right way, and they're the ones to be supported in this time. It's not. It's yeah. There's not everyone doing it that way. There's just a proportion of people that are doing it that way. But quite often you'll see like an average number. You'll probably see like half a dozen, 10 maybe if they get a good flavour and someone else can market it and there's appeal in that flavour, quite often people will sell it. And if it's regged, they can then brand it how they want. It's just basic white labelling, isn't it? But
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, gets to a degree where you have to have a cap, I think, where you shouldn't be able to have 80, 90 flavours all on one ECID.
No,
And
I
again,
think that's wrong. It should,
don't
perhaps the
use
label should have an
it.
ECID number with a red D at the end of it, like duplicate, so we all know it's made by someone else as well.
Yeah,
Naturevape, been great hearing from you, Barry. Been really interesting. I'll definitely be checking my numbers. That's what I read out. Thank you for you both for a great show. Thank you, Daniel. Mark Trigwell, great show. Mark and Barry, thanks for your invaluable time. Still the best vape-related show on YouTube. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Steam Pugs. Quality liquids, Barry. That's why it's a good problem to have. Yeah, absolutely. Mother's Milk is probably the most cloned juice out there, but it was massive liquid back in the day, and especially in the DIY scene. There'll be loads of people tried to copy and replicate that menu, won't there? Loads, I would say.
yeah. You go on some of these e-liquid recipe sites, and there's probably 50, 100 of them.
Yeah,
Just
but it's getting the right one.
exactly that.
Yeah.
When you're working with percentages, you got trying to get that exactly what someone else has done. There's a ballpark that you can get to, but you're never gonna 100% pin that down.
Evening, Mike. Nice to see you. Graham, disposables taste like sponge. Defo not cotton. What else have we got here? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, steam post. It's the liquid that pushed me down the rabbit hole, 100%. That's mother's milk, I think. Frank, evening, Frank. Hi, everyone. I have a quick question for Barry. Is the Nature's Flavours range anything to do with medicine flower?
What's medicine flower?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Oh, I don't. No.
No, don't know. But your Nature's range, that is...
Natural range, yeah.
Yeah, it's a natural range, isn't it? And
Yeah.
what have you got in that? Strawberry is fruits, isn't it, mainly on that?
Yeah, maybe there is some other ones that's like they're still naturally extracted and extruded and bits, but yeah, it's not a big range, but it's a good honest flavour. And so, like for example, they're more along the usage lines of like your capellas, your 20 to 25%, but they go against a grain of fruits, whereas they're not there straight away. They take a little bit of a steep, and the apple and the strawberry, the black currant, there's fantastic liquids if you get them right.
Right.
But again, it's moved on. Like a lot of things this last few years, flavour like English. Some of these English flavour houses are at the top of their game. Like they're putting America to shame in what they can produce, and it's all down to what you can get dissolved, how much you can get made on a molecular level, and it's like what you can achieve with the flavour, making it stable. And yeah, like I believe now some of the flavourings that are coming out of the UK side of things are 10 times better than what has ever been produced in America.
Right, no, that's interesting. The one that I liked for a long time, that was years ago now, it was based on Fruit Loops.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to remember what that was called. It was
Cutwood one.
very popular at the time.
Was it Cutwood?
No. It was based on Fruit Loops. So sweet, but you couldn't vape all the time, but it was almost like a special treat when I had a bottle of that. It was like, that was when I was direct lunging at the time, and I thought, God, this stuff's nice.
Yeah, I like a nice tree liquid. If you're sitting down of an evening, it's a nice comfy evening at home, you've got a film on, something a little bit different.
Where's that? Barry, will you be doing a desserts range? A vaping joker.
Well, in Pixie, it depends how it goes. We have got an idea for some desserts on Pixie, but yeah, we are developing. So I've got some in development at the minute for the deluxe range. So we've got a spotted dick and custard, and a bread and butter pudding that we've gone back and forth a couple of three times on getting it reworked, getting this lowered, more of this. So yeah, I'm hoping to have them signed off in the next couple of weeks, and that'll be our first thing in the Alchemist for about 6 months, 5 6 months. So that's the thing. We've got brands, and you can't take your focus off the Alchemist, even though Pixie is like accelerating to like a rapid speed at the minute. It's about managing everything, and that's where it's a little bit harder, and where the hard work's coming in at the minute. But yeah, we might get there on a Pixie, but Alchemist, we've got plenty of good desserts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That puts me off straight away. Exactly what you said. They're very expensive. I think I might have seen them before actually. This is where things have to work on price. As Flavora are an exception to the rule because of the percentage you use. As soon as you get into anything that's using 5, 10, 15%, and you're paying top dollar for it, it's hard to shift when you've got flavour art inner out there that are £2.50, £3, even cheaper. I think for a 10 ml, but 2, 3, 5% is like incredible flavour. It might not be as refined and as defined as some of what you can achieve with a higher percentage, but really, I haven't tried them bugs, but if they're expensive, that's why.
But I guess like anything else, a bit like the La Tabaccaria, if you're only mixing up a tiny bit, you know, you're mixing up at like the Virginia, I mix up at 7%, and a lot of my customers say that's too strong. 5% is ample, you know.
Right.
So whereas a lot we know are 25, 30% even in some cases. So if you're only mixing up 5 or 7%, that doesn't actually that's not so expensive, is it? Do you see what I mean? And if medicine flower are a bit like that, I don't know. I've never heard of them. I'm going to be honest. I've never tried them, but you know, you can't. I wouldn't. But it's brilliant. He's got it. I've seen it come in. Looper. That was the Fruit Loops. It was Looper. It's called Looper.
Yeah.
Oh, and Graham got it as well. See, I told you they knew more than we did. Graham says that natural extraction fruits would be cool.
Yeah.
Daniel, just one last quickie. Does having the liquids warm whilst mixing help at all? I say yes, it does, but I'm going to let Barry answer it. I think it just helps.
I mean, obviously, there's this time of year, like it's one lump or two with the VG sometimes. The viscosity of the liquids change with the climate, doesn't it? So yeah, I think. But like when I used to be a sub owner, I used to change for the winter and the summer. So in the summer, I used to have more of a 75 or 80-20. But then when it came down to the winter, I used to make it more 70-30, just because you need that better feel to it. It wicks better. It's like sometimes if you leave your bottle in your car and you come back out to it, it's like really slow in moving and things like that. And it's got to be the same again when you're putting it into your tank and you're heating it up. The colder it is, the more heat you're putting it through. It needs to be a relative composition as such to operate best. And that does come down to climate a lot. Just general room temperature or things like that, you'll find your liquid runs better. And yeah, there's a lot to it in there.
There is a lot to it.
Then it's about how happy you are with the flavour, how you. We're doing this to stop smoking, aren't we? This is a little hobby that we find, and we like different flavours and we like different tastes and things like that. So there's no right or wrong. It's just finding what works best for you and keeping with that.
Yeah, I still got it somewhere. I had one of those. Well, you've probably got one as well. The magnetic stirrers. You drop the torpedo bit thing in.
Yeah.
And that was heated as well, so I used to just warm it up slightly and let it spin at the same time. And I was thinking, I'll mix it all up when I was mixing my own juice and stuff. Seemed to work. Mike, what's Mike put? I love a dessert liquid in a mick at night time when I'm relaxing. Just got home tonight, so just a couple of regular setups.
I like something a bit warmer of an evening, especially this time of year.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Mark, keep the quality net supplies, Mark Barry, going. Best thing that has happened in recent years. Everything else is second best in my opinion. Yeah, I know there's a lot of you on here that like your naturally extracted tobaccos, and I'm right with you. I like them
I'm
as well.
coming round to them as well.
Sorry?
I'm coming round to them as well.
Yeah, Barry, we're winning him round, guys. We're winning him round. Steam Pugs, I'm yet to try net. Try La Tabaccaria. You won't go wrong.
They're the ones bugs.
Yeah, it depends, but there's so many different ones. I mean, I like personally, I like the Kentucky, I like the Virginia. You got to be pretty hardcore, I think, to vape Latakia. Latakia is very strong, but there's so many. You know, if you like cigars, there's Matafee and things like that. So there's plenty there to choose from. Plenty. And
That's the one thing I miss is like a real authentic. I used to love a cigar as a treat, not like an all everyday thing, but it's like when you got together with your mates at a wedding, things like that. And as soon as you had that first roll of the flavour, it's the one thing if you could replicate now to a degree in vaping that just be one of them ones you sat on the shelf and when you dag it out every couple of 3 weeks, just makes you savour it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's praise indeed. Tonight's show should be emailed to all MPs. Maybe it should. Maybe they'll have a better understanding of how we actually feel. Right, the last few there are a couple of companies that were doing that to make medicine flower more accessible to us peasants. I don't know did someone else say something before that? Probably, I don't know if watering it down is the right expression, but reducing the concentration, I would have said, to make it cheaper.
More PG.
Right, Pugs, get Latakia. There you go, Paul Lynchcliffe. Latakia is awesome, Mike Haynes. Yeah, they say. I knew there'd be a few people come on the Latakia side, but it is strong. It is strong. It is nicer, but it is strong. If you're not, like, if you're only humming and hawing, should I try net tobacco? I think I wouldn't try that as the first one, put it that way. Adrian, are Barry's liquids available on Naturevape site? The Pixie salt juices, yes. Apart from the new flavour, the Satsuma
and pineapple, yeah.
Apart from that, they're on there. I've got the plum, raspberry plum. That's nice, Adrian. In here, that's very nice.
Have you got the concentrates on there, Mark? Did you take them?
I haven't. No, I got the. What do I have? Concentrate off you.
They were the Pixies, were they?
No, they weren't. No, but probably should do. Get the concentrates, but the minute I've just got the salts. But yeah, I reckon we'll end up stocking it, especially if if people buy it. Obviously, I'll stock it. And I think we've come to an end. We've come to an end. Look at that. Look, 10 to 10. We've given you nearly an hour and a half. Whatever next?
Content.
Whatever next. Okay, brilliant. I think on that note, we'll sign off. If you'd like to say your goodbyes, Barry, and thanks. From me, thanks ever so much for coming. I know you haven't been well, but yeah, if you'd like to say your goodbyes to everyone.
Yeah, thanks all for having me. Thanks for the questions. Thanks to Mark for having me on. Anything we can help with anytime, you know where we are. Hope you all have a good rest of your evening.
We'd all like to see Barry come on more often, wouldn't we? Just yes in the comments. Yes.
Don't pressure. It's been long enough to get to this stage. You can't overdo it. I don't want people getting fed up with me.
It was actually the people in chat that got you to come on here, which is really good because I kind of dropped you in it on the last live show. So everyone wants you to come in, Barry.
It's one of those things. Like I've done a couple in the last couple of 3 months, and the more you do it, the more you get acclimatized to it. I don't like seeing myself on camera. I'm not very confident in front of camera, and it's just. But if you can forget about it, it's easy enough to do. So.
It is, yeah. Just like you're talking around a bar, makes life easy. Yeah. All right then, guys. Well, thanks ever so much for all your. Yes.
I can't teach that tonight.
Well, just for your benefit,
Back
Barry,
on.
I'll just put a couple on just to let you know that people were quite pleased that you came on.
No, thank you very much for having me. I'm glad.
No,
Glad it
thanks
was.
everyone for all your questions. It's been a lovely show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Loved your company, Barry, and always like to
Same,
chat
mate.
when I personally come and see you as well.
Yeah.
So until next time, thanks for watching and see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. Alan, cheers for the show, lads. Always enjoy your Tuesday show.